How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Fourever Arsenal podcast. After a 7-1, it's a 1-1. Man United away from home, drawn 15 points behind Liverpool, if that's how you're looking at it. 6 points above Chelsea, if that's how you're looking at it. Either way, not good enough. We're here to talk. No replacement for James again. Why? We've got enough moaners in the building already. So, and it's one of those ones. So I thought, why not just keep it one of those ones? Me, Jordan, and Lee. Well, a freshly shaven Jordan. Very. What's going on? Is there a job interview coming up or?
Got caught in it.
Cool. I'll say no more. Shiroi back in you. I can talk to my guy. He's got
Got it sharp. No. It's there was time. There was time. But I hate it. I hate shaving. That's funny because you and Lee are the opposites. Lee shaves every day. You shave once a year.
I ain't shaved. December's the last time I had anything, because obviously the hair transplant. So yeah, I've just been growing it all out, and then from beast to beauty once that fresh trim comes in, which it's around the corner. My birthday's in 9 days, 18th of March.
It's coming, yeah.
Maybe for that one.
Happy birthday!
Hey, let me get there first. Still 9 days.
Yeah. Whoa.
You've done premature, but I appreciate it in advance. Big up Lee. I was surprised to see you on the watch along. Usually you're there, but what happened? Is it by choice? Is it Kroenke out?
No, it's been a bad day all round. Like, we had our sort of league decider, like 2 top teams going for the league today, and we got done. We got done 3-0. Bit of a shock. We had a couple of players out, but no excuses. We missed some chances. They took their chances and deservedly beat us, and that means we ain't going to win the league this year like one of the last few years. But second again, ole.
Who's underperformed more, Arsenal or your team?
My team, Wolf Mary, we got done today.
No, I mean in general, like the season, who's underperformed more?
No, we've been playing really well this year. We got to the County Cup final. We've got another semi-final. We've won the league the last couple of years, and we've got a really, really good team. We've got good players and all that, but we just didn't play today. Like, as a unit and as a team, we didn't play well today. So that's why I didn't go to Man United, because of that game. Didn't play well myself today. Didn't play bad, but didn't play well. So a bad day all round. And then, so I didn't go to watch on that. Hence why we could record a little bit earlier today, because I would still be on the road. Coming back to Manchester. Just one question I'd like, though, to ask. What time are we doing the comments of the week? When are we doing that?
Why, are you ready already, or what's going on?
I've got my comment ready. Yep, I've got my comment ready.
Obviously, at the end, there's normal. I don't know what you're so giddy about, but yeah.
No, I'm just really looking forward to the comments of the week. That's all I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? So
okay. Pick up the comments. Leave your comments now, people. Hit the like button, do all of that stuff, and yeah, it's going from smiling to moaning at this precise time. So we have to have a bit of a moan, no?
Can I kick it off, please?
You're welcome to.
To me, today was all down on the manager. He has a shocker. Absolute shocker.
In what sense?
Well, I just think, like, again, couldn't break down a team that's, plays defensively and, a low block. Clueless to it, you know what I mean? All the possession. Man United had all the best chances. What goes 1-0 up. And for me, then in the second half, right, come on, do something to break this low block. And it's like for like substitutions. Calafiori for Miles Lewis-Skelly, Martinelli for Wanyeri. Why are you keeping Wanyeri on and trying to something different and all that? Like, I looked at it today and I just thought, do you know what? I'm losing faith in Mikel. Like, and apparently he's stormed off of a press conference today. It's just not a good look. I thought we were shocking today. That was poor as it's been. Man United, terrible, but that's now twice. They've put in the low block really 3 times. If you think back to the game at the Emirates as well, when we scored 2 goals from set piece, 2 corners. We haven't looked like we're going to score a corner in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
All that's gone to Bob. Even though I thought we improvised well with a couple of our set pieces today, but where was the inventiveness? Where was the creativity of the team? Where was something different? I'm watching it, lads, and I'm sorry, it was boring. And I have to say, as exciting as I was against PSV, it's a one-off, wasn't it? It's just a one-off because that's 3 games now. 7 points drop. Poor performances, and can you ask a question? And I think it's got to be asked, right? We're 1-0 down, 1-1, looking for his help. He's bringing on Tierney, who's never played for him for I don't know how long, putting him wide left, and then putting Marino, taking Partey off and putting Marino back into that position. What was all that about? Nearly cost us the game if it weren't for Declan Rice.
Yeah.
And you put in your best crosser, or one of the best crossers in the ball. And who's he crossing to? Trossard. Marino's come out of there. Honestly, lads, please try and, make me see sense of all this. It was just an absolute horror show from the manager. They just completely lost the plot as far as I'm concerned. So bad today. So bad. But I think it's all on him today. I'm looking at him and I've got no defence for it.
Can't make sense of it. You're not wrong when you ask me.
I can't make sense of it.
I thought the same.
That today.
I thought the same thing. The Ranieri and Martinelli substitution. I thought, hold on, we need a goal. Ranieri's our biggest threat. Martinelli's our biggest threat off the bench. Put them both on. What are we playing for here? It's like a point was going to preserve our lead at the top of the table or something. I didn't. The approach for me. I've always said since the league is well and truly dusted, which was a couple games ago. Try something different. And again, you've had an opportunity to, not only from the start, and I mean tactically here, because I know personnel. We're stretched, but we're not stretched personnel-wise in midfield. That's poor recruitment that's led down to where we are in midfield. Let's be honest here, because even if Marino wasn't up top, Marino coming on isn't really a midfield changer. He hasn't shown that yet for us to even, expect anything different from him right now. In fact, he's shown his best form for us up front in the 2-3 games that he's come on or started. So, do something different. And I don't know why he stormed off. I don't like the interviewer asked him about, is it, do you look back at January and the lack of not bringing in a striker? And it really got to him.
It's a poor question, though. Sorry to cut. It's a poor question for me.
Yeah, but Jordan, my thing is answer it properly so they don't have to ask you again. If you flirt around that question week in, week out, and we all know the answer to it, like I said before, defending the indefensible leads you to this sort of behavior or looking silly. Because I get what you're saying here, but he's never answered that question.
I thought he had.
Correct
me if I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that he had asked the question in as far as, I can't quote him verbatim, but I thought he'd answered it in terms of, the options weren't out there. We couldn't get the deal that we wanted done. We've moved on. So you might not like the answer, but as far as I'm aware, he's given an answer.
But
so asking him, and for me, the Patrick Davis asked him, is today down to a lack of a striker you didn't bring in the window? For me, a better question is pushing it forward, because we know what he's going to say or he'll walk off. The question should have been, will you be prioritizing a centre forward in the next window? That's the question to ask. There's no point going back to January.
I think both questions could have been answered in a similar way to appease what we both want from it, if that makes sense. What you're saying is he has come out and said we didn't get the right profile or character.
I thought he had.
He did. No, that was his answer. But we know here what that answer is. Bollocks. Because we've seen players go that would have had an impact, whether it's a loan like Asensio or Rashford. Some people, I wasn't interested in that. But let's say Asensio, he's come in 4 or 5 goals since, not been amazing, but he's had an impact. Or whether it was a Kvaratskhelia for 65 mil, market opportunity. We need to improve that. So the whole answer of, I get that's his answer. You're right. That's what he said. But he's basically lying, because the evidence is there that whichever way you wanted to go about it, whether it's a loan with no obligation or whether it's a very good player coming in at a very decent price and a decent wage at that, there was evidence in the market that both was available. So you telling us that the right profile wasn't, unless you mean, which I kind of mentioned before and we kind of agreed, the right profile has to be the character of the person as well, maybe someone with not too much of an ego. But I don't know, because we'll move on to it later about the sporting director choice from Arsenal. I'm very impressed by that, and that is actually a positive we can talk about in this show, but we're not on that yet. But I feel like he's led himself down this path by not answering the
maybe you're right, but I think he stormed off the way he did for one of two reasons. Either A, he's embarrassed that he didn't get a deal done. He's embarrassed that maybe he knows I've got more power and influence. I could have done more. I didn't do more, and now we're suffering. So either he walked up because either he's embarrassed, or he was beating down the door to the people with the money, saying I want a striker in this window, and they told him no. And he's just so frustrated that, look, I can't tell you guys, the public, the press, the fans, I can't tell you what I want to tell you, which is I wanted a striker. I wanted a forward, but them man didn't give it to me. Either way, he stormed off because one of those two things happened. He's either embarrassed for his lacking, or he's embarrassed that, or he's not embarrassed, but he's frustrated that he can't tell the world what really happened, which might have been them man. They I was cuffed. I couldn't. I trust me, Patrick. Trust me, fan base. Trust me, public. I wanted a forward more than you lot, but them man didn't free up the peas.
But Joe, you know what?
Sorry, Joe. I agree.
Off. Why else would he storm off?
I agree with you there, but 2 weeks ago he's saying over my dead body we're giving up and all that. Like, you can't then 2 weeks later and come out and do that. It's not a good look.
But he's got to send it. He's got to come out swinging and fighting.
Well, listen, I'm furious today. You know what I mean? But he's got to have a look at himself as well. Like, he didn't help the team out today with the substitutions. I thought we was poor. I thought our passing was poor. I lauded over Martin Odegaard the other day. Lauded over him against PSG. But when you're playing a low block, he's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. What did he do today? Like, he ran around, worked. I think
I'm going to slightly defend Odegaard in a minute. I don't think he's as bad as everybody tonight is saying he was today. But just before I get to him, I'm glad that Lee started with criticism of the manager, because I was going to do that as well. Today was crap. I thought I was going to be the most negative person on the. Today was crap. I'm not buying this. Is the point? The title's gone. Doesn't matter that much. It was a crap game for 70 minutes anyway. But we were crap, and people weren't saying we were crap today because all season from game 5, game 6, I've been criticizing this team, right? Because just because we have the ball, just because the wide players touch the ball, just because we're around the box, people kind of conflate that with we're playing well. We're not playing well. In that first half, we dominated like I've not seen anyone dominate before, but we never hurt them.
No.
And for me, today was an encapsulation of most of our season. Lots of play, players getting touches, players looking like they're going to do something, but no one's really hurting no one. Bare foreplay, but no one's really doing anything. So for me, I think today was crap. I thought it was a crap game from Arsenal today.
I know it was a different game, and I know Spurs are a little bit more open, but I watched Bournemouth, and that's how I want my team to play. That's how I wanted Arsenal to play. They was absolutely on point, pressing hard when they got the ball, bursting forward, quick passing. I know they didn't win the game and they was unlucky not to, but they should have won it by a lot more. But we have better players than Bournemouth, and they are playing a brand of football that if we play that brand of football today, Manchester United couldn't live with us. They pressed high, their energy in midfield. I didn't see that from our midfield today, apart from Declan Rice. The attacking side of it all, and the reason I bring up Bournemouth, right, is that they've got a lot more injuries than what we've got, right? No excuses. We've got 2 players out at this moment.
I was going to say, Lee, we don't actually have that many players out. It's a bit of a myth. We've got this long injury there. We don't have that many players out.
2 players.
Yeah, we don't have that. I mean, who are the 2?
Players.
Havertz and Saka.
Havertz and Saka, they're the only two. So I don't count Jesus because he's not a
No,
star.
I don't count Tommy
He's
Asu.
always injured. So
One of the changes,
like, we've got injuries too. No, we don't.
One of them changes absolutely nothing. If I'm honest with you, it's only Saka that really will
But
miss
there
it.
you go.
Let's be real here.
There you go. But I want to. Sorry to cut you, but I want to pick up back on Arteta. I don't want to. I defend him a lot, but I want to give him some today because I thought today his tactics. I agree with you, Lee, were really bad. What's really disappointing to me regarding Arteta, he's playing the same system without a striker. For me, it's not like you've not got a striker for 4 or 5 games and you can keep the system and you can try and bundle through. You know you've got no striker for the next 3 months. So why are you playing the same system without a striker? Surely today you play 5 in midfield maybe, and you play a false 9. Try something. The league's gone. The league's gone. So you might as well try something different. Show us tactically that you can do something different. Man United, they weren't going to win today. They got a draw, and for what it's worth, they deserve to win. Like they deserve to win. Let's all this like, oh, a draw was a fair result. No, it wasn't. Man United should have won that game today. We were lucky. We were lucky to get a point today, right? And I put that firmly at the feet of Mikel Arteta. Few players I want to go through now. I don't want to see Calafiori at left back again. We will, but I don't want to see him at left back. He's not a left back. I think he's a good player. He's a centre back playing at left back. I don't want to see him at left back again. Let's just allow that now. I don't want to see him at left back. Pick your 2 left backs for the season and stick with that. I don't want to see him at left back ever again. We lose that game today if it's not for our player of the season. If it's not for our player of the season, we do lose that game today. Yeah, David Raya made 2, to argue 3, but 2 brilliant saves today that keep us in the match. Odegaard, I want to defend Odegaard a little bit because in the first half watching him, and a bit like you, Lee, I was thinking to myself, he's got to do more. He's got to do more. But I feel there's a little bit of Mesut Ozil about him in the sense that I never had Mesut Ozil. I was one of Mesut Ozil's biggest critics. One of the few things I defended Ozil on was that a player of that caliber, it always felt like other players around him weren't on his wavelength. They just weren't on the same wavelength as him. And I feel Odegaard is a little bit of a similar thing, whereby he hasn't got the players around him to really pick up, see the runs, see when to do a 1-2. The only player that can do it is Saka, because he's that smart. So I had a little bit of sympathy for Odegaard in the sense that he's doing 3 jobs. We chat about off the mid-Turkish. You mentioned you think you want to try him as an 8 as opposed to a 10. He's doing all 3 jobs. He's doing a 6. He's doing box to box as an 8. He's doing 6, getting the ball sometimes deep from the centre backs, the keeper sometimes, and he's being a 10, trying to make things happen. He's doing too many roles. So I've got a little bit of sympathy for Odegaard in the sense that, and it's again is on Arteta. He's doing too much. He's doing every single role where we want Arteta to say to him, no, just be a 10 and create, or just be a playmaker and come deep and set play, or just be. He's doing all 3. So I accept that this season he's not had a good season, and I think he's had some justifiable criticism. But I think today I'm watching him thinking to myself, there's nobody really on your level in terms of knowing what you're trying to do. So I had a bit of sympathy for him today. A couple more I'm going to rattle through and I'll shut up. Trossard on the left. Oh my God. Trossard is a moments player, right? He's our best finisher. And if you look at his time at Arsenal, he's done really well when he's done things in moments that have been big. The lack of involvement from Trossard is disgraceful. But I would forgive that, guys. I would forgive it if in the one moment he gets, he scores. If you're not going to be involved in the game, you've got to take the chances that you get. You've got to make that killer pass that sets up a goal. You've got to finish a chance when you get a chance. He's not doing either. And the issue we've had with Saka for ages for me is we're too reliant on the right-hand side. And when it was the flirter, we get nothing on the left. It's the same now. It's the same on the right-hand side. It's all on the right-hand side, and we're getting nothing. We're getting nothing from the left-hand side. I thought Ranieri was dead today. I thought he was crap. And my final person I want to call out today is who was it? I thought Timber was good today. I thought he was really good. That was one of the few players that actually left the pitch. I thought he was solid. I thought he got up and down well. He got an assist. I thought defensively he was pretty rock solid. But for me, there was only 3 moments of quality in the entire match from Arsenal: the Declan Rice tackle, the Kieran Tierney cutback, and the David Raya second save. The second one I thought was an insane save. It wasn't. Today was crap. And when, as Arsenal fans, I'll shut up, I promise, in a second. Last point. As Arsenal fans that have had to enjoy years of being battered by Manchester United, to see this Man United team at their worst and just not even be able to beat them, let alone batter them, I just thought the title's gone. You couldn't even give us a battering today. You couldn't even give the fans a little bit of fun and really stick it on them. You couldn't even give us that. You won 7-1 on Wednesday. You had 2 more days rest than United. They've got a bigger game in the week than today. We've got a nice, easy second leg job done, and you can't even put on a show for the fans. Not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough. Sorry, ran over.
Well, have I got a list? I mean, I'll probably add Declan Rice's celebration to the list as well.
Oh my God!
I just don't understand. I didn't expect that from him either. I don't understand. I really don't understand what happened in that moment. Because
sorry. Give me one more. Sorry, one more. And I promise I'll shut up. I defended the fan base when people were cussing the fan base about us celebrating after the Man City win. Your rant that went super viral. The only thing in your rant that I disagreed with was your point about the fans needing to be humble. I got what you meant, but I think when you beat the champions 5-1, and Ranieri, who was chucking it back to Haaland for who the F are you, and throwing the ball in the back of his teammate's head, I was okay with that. So it's okay for fans to celebrate in the day. If they drag that on,
I agree with that. That viral video was after we got knocked out of United, and I said that.
Sorry. You're right. Sorry. I defended the fan base from the media that were blasting Arsenal for over celebrating. What Declan Rice did today was the height of stupidity. I was like, what are you doing, you stupid idiot? What are you doing? We are struggling to get a 1-1 draw at Old Toilet, and you're celebrating in the corner, telling fans to be quiet. What are you doing? You stupid idiot. What are you doing? I was so upset with Declan Rice because that's not like him. That's not like him. Get the ball and win the game. I'd have been pissed with a 2-1 win. I'd have been pissed with a 2-1 win. We can't be going to Old Trafford like this and when them like they are and scraping a win, let alone getting a draw. Sorry, you reminded me. I was fuming at that point. That was the one thing that I thought, I can't defend that.
I was confused. I actually thought to go get the ball and take it back to the middle. That's what I expect from him. But then I thought, what, did the fans rattle him or something? But then he said after the game it was nothing personal. So I don't get it. I'll never get it. And hopefully he understands. Yeah, he lost himself a little. Or a lot, to be honest with you. Telling them to calm down. We need to go and sort this out. It's 1-1. But yeah, Odegaard. I mean, I'm not as kind to Odegaard as you are. I've given enough time for him to do better. You mentioned Ozil. Difference is Ozil was generational in what he did, and we knew moments could come out of nowhere. Whereas Odegaard is, and you're right, he does various jobs, but it's like he's been doing these jobs so long now, he doesn't know which job is for which area of the pitch. He's moving like a DM in the 10 position. In DM, he's moving like an 8. Then in the 8, he's moving like a D. I don't know what's going on. There'll be space in front of him, and he'll turn the other way and start running. Or the goal's there, the space is there, and he goes there. Or Trossard's free all the way down there. The next ball from Calafiori should be out to Trossard, and then Odegaard cuts over to go support him. Odegaard continues towards the right. He's doing a lot of things that and you might be right. Tactically, Arteta needs to look at that. Has he been looking at that? Is he the reason for that? But it's not good enough. I'm with Lee. Like the whole low to mid block, I'm not seeing anything from Odegaard. I still think he's an 8. Like for me, he's an 8, and for me, he has all the attributes to be a quality 8, in my honest opinion, because he's got a mix of both. But in the 10, I'm lacking. I'm not seeing enough from him around the box. He's shooting today. His shooting was like a little kid trying to shoot.
You're right.
Like 3-4 shots. Like it was just come on. Whether it was trickling into the keeper or you're shooting straight into the defender. Like you're not a little kid anymore. You're a well-seasoned international, been captain for your country longer than you've been captain for this great football club. You've been in the league years. I expect your shooting. His shooting was better 3 years ago.
I just thought he was poor. I'm sorry, like I know Jordan's trying to stick up for him. There was one time if he controls the ball, he's in on goal, and he miscontrols it, and he has to come out of the box and go again. Like there was times when I felt that he wasn't in the right positions. There was space in between the defence and midfield, and he was out wide. I honestly today I just thought he was you've got all of that possession and all of that play, and he's picking it up. I don't mind him picking it up from off the defenders and trying to do it from that point of view, but he's not being man marked. You know what I mean? He could go into areas, and on the back of his superb performance in midweek, I just thought, right, this is it. But just gone back to another poor performance for me. That I thought he was really, really poor. He wasn't the only one, but I do agree with you that it was Wanyeri's worst game, by the way. But even though I'd still keep him on because he's likely to do something.
Yeah, have to.
And Trossard, by the way, I thought he was superb on Tuesday. I really did. I mean, today, give away the goal, like bad pass, then he does a foul, and these guys, some of these players, you know what I mean. I can't forgive him for not celebrating at Aston Villa that time, because he wants to start, and then when he does start, he puts it, put your money where your mouth is, or shut up. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, I just feel that was just such a poor performance when you really need these guys. You know what I mean? Like this is where you really do need Trossard to be up there performing, and I just don't see it. I really don't. I just think that he was poor. I think Miles Lewis-Skelly come on and done well. Calafiori wasn't up for it, was he? Wasn't out in the races today, David Raya makes unbelievable saves, but he's cost us a goal. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Did any of you lot think Cantona 1995?
Oh, I don't know. I think that's a bit different, that free kick. That smashed into the goal, you know what I mean? Do you know that was when he had his arm bandaged up? It was iconic.
Yeah.
But no, that's a day. It was a good free kick. I'm not saying that, but come on. It weren't it with a great deal of pace and all that. I just think that's poor goalkeeping. But listen, he made up for it with some unbelievable saves. But
yeah,
I see that. I didn't see it once on Tuesday night, maybe because there was netting and I was so far away. I didn't see Raya stand on the ball once, but there he is again today, standing on the ball. Then it goes to Gabriel, then it goes to Saliba, then it goes to Gabriel, then it goes to then Partey comes in and walks the ball 5 yards. Oh God!
He did make 2 wicked passes in the first half, though. He hit it first time twice. And he kind of wrapped it, as hard to describe, but he made 2 first-time passes where he took out 3 players.
Who, Raya?
Yeah.
Oh, no, listen, I thought Raya had a good game apart from the free kick.
Yeah.
It's like saying strikers had a good game and missing an open goal, though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
If we're being honest, yeah, probably one of the... I mean, sorry, the Cantona 95 free kick is still in my head because I get what you're saying, but with Raya, I feel like Jordan's right. One of our 2 players of the season. It's come down to him and Gabriel, if we're being honest, in terms of being consistent throughout the season and doing their job to a standard where we look, you've either saved us points or won us points. Both of them have done. I'd probably lean to Gabriel, I think, but that might be just because I like him more. But I think it's pretty equal, Gabriel's a top 5 attacking threat for us and probably been our best defender. Raya has saved us a lot of points.
Yeah. I forgot the flirter as well. He ain't getting away with it.
Yeah, he came and reminded us of...
What's the thing that I've been saying for 3 years? I hate doing the whole I've been telling you so. For 3 years I've been saying the biggest thing about this guy, his decision making is shocking. Why are you shooting at the near post, bro? Like, That's got to go that's got to go back post to I think it was Trossard. Was it Trossard? I think it was Trossard the back post, or shoot at the far post at least. He always makes the wrong decision, always. And this idea of we started with Martinelli, we might have won the game. I'm like, let's not pretend like he's a massive upgrade on Trossard, because for me, he's not. He's just
the balls to the back post. We was exhausting that option in the second half. Oh my God. Right-footed, left-footed, balls to the back post. That's all we was trying to do. It's just, and I need to see something different, man. You know, I need to see something. You can't be walking out of interviews. And also, I've seen another quote saying, I didn't really get the quote, but he's basically backing owners again, saying they want to win. All right, so win. Like we need to let's sort it out. Don't run from questions that, in my opinion, matter. I need to know that you fucked up. And I want to go back to the point there because Jordan, with the reason why I need him, look, Wenger, yeah, Wenger had the fans. So if he told us the truth, we would have been with him. We would have been with him and on to them. And what was the worst thing they could have done? Sack him. All right, but we're still on to you. He would have still sacrificed himself for the greater good, which is these are the poison. I'm going to have to say that. Now, Wenger had the fans. Do you get it? That's why it really pissed me off with Wenger, because and deservedly so, but he chose the owners in the end, right? Now, Arteta somehow has managed to get the fans quite a similar level in terms of the backing and the love for him, and it's a bit weird at times. So tell the truth, brother. That's the best thing that he can do, because what are they going to do? What, sack the man that the majority of the fan base love and make excuses for? And that would be the worst thing they can do to themselves. So that's why he's got himself into a position. Like Emery kind of did tell us some home truths. He did tell us, like early that the only January window we knew exactly what's going to happen was the Emery one, because he came out in the first few days and said, "We ain't got no money, people. I'll try and see what my links are saying." Bang, Dennis Suarez came in 2 weeks there. But we knew, he told us, but he didn't have the love of the fans. So regardless of telling us, when shit was going wrong, no one really cared too much. It was like, you're messing about, Emery. Whereas Wenger and now Mikel have the fans. So if he was actually honest, and I'm not saying come out and say, yo, fuck Kroenke out. I'm not telling Arteta to do that. I'm telling Arteta to, you're a smart man. You know how to use your words in ways where you're saying one thing, but you're telling us a whole next thing, right? Exactly. So every time you're talking, you're putting faith and love into the relationship. Great to see Kroenke the other week. Was it? Was it great? Now they want to win. Earlier in the season, it was the best owners. But so he's choosing to say these words. I'm not telling him to come out and go mad, but he's got the fans on side, the majority, right? And his fans, he's got a majority there, and there's fans that may be like me, who are like, it's the owners, but like Wenger, the shield becomes too strong to get majority looking at the owners. So Arteta, I man need you to be honest then, or you will take the blame if it doesn't go right, and there won't be no crying about it after.
I don't know about you, Chuck, but I'm losing faith in him now.
But I lost faith when he was saying, I've been losing faith when he said best owners, Lee, because I know what that means. You've lied. You signed the contract, and I know where this is going. Like
I've got to say, I'm losing faith on it now. Like, I honestly think that he needs a massive window in the summer, and he needs to be really, really back. But he needs 3 new forwards.
Mm-hmm. I'm
3 new forwards.
2 strikers, 1 left winger.
Yeah, 2 centre forwards and a wing. Yeah, I do. I think that he does. I think it needs to be revamped. I don't like. I want to see a winger being able to take players on, go past them, be direct. I want someone that's going to drop in to midfield and create and score wonder-like shots from outside the box. Our shooting today is, for professional footballers, is, I see a video the other day on they showed it on the, like the training practices and that, where bang, bang, top corners, bang, bang. And when it actually comes to the game, it's different players out there. I think it's, you know what I mean? Like I reckon they've got those men in green suits going around with the balls and throwing them in at the goal, like, and then like they're banging them in from all over the place.
AI or whatever, yeah.
But it's just it's shocking. You know, Marino should have scored in the first 10 minutes. Lovely little move. You know, opens it out. It's his left foot. He doesn't hit the target. He actually screws it wide. You know what I mean? You cannot be, you know, look, was it 7-8 chances against PSV and 8 go? But when you go to these games with low block teams, you have to take your chances. And if you don't take your chances, it will come back and bite you. It don't matter whatever level you're at. You've got to take your chances. And if you don't, you know, and some of the shooting today was the decision making in the final third is League Two, boys. It's League Two. And I was talking to a coach once, and I said, what's the difference? Because you look at footballers and you go like, well, how comes he's in League Two and he's at Premier League? You know what I mean? What makes you a Premier League player to a League Two player, or a League Two player to a non-league player? I mean, he always said to me is that you go, they'll have 5 decisions in a game, the Premier League, and they get 5 right. In the Championship, it'd be 4, 3, and down, like, you know what I mean? We don't get those we do not make the right decisions in the right areas. We don't. We pass when we should shoot. We shoot when we should pass. Today, how many times is it just a nice 10-yard pass just out wide and we over it or under it? It's all wrong decisions. You know, like offsides when we should be onside. You know, and it's. I think they were saying on Sky, I didn't really, I copped a bit of it just as I come in, like, you know, title-winning goalkeeper, which we haven't had for many years. Title-winning goalkeeper, title-winning defence, title-winning midfield. That's it. We are let down by what we've got up front. So it needs major surgery. If he doesn't do it in January, I'm afraid, like, I can't see him surviving. I really can't, like, you know what I mean? I am losing faith in Mikel Arteta, like, and not just. I've seen it a couple of times now. You cannot continue, right, for the last 3 years to challenge for titles. We ain't challenged it for this year. When you're losing to teams in the bottom of the table, like Southampton 2 years ago. West Ham 3 years on the spin, we've dropped points for them, but they've been in the bottom half of the table. We drop points at home to teams 16th, 17th, 18th in the league. We've done it every single season. They're 15th in the league, couldn't beat them. You are never, ever going to win a league dropping points against teams like that. You have to find a way. You have to make sure you win these games. He's not doing it. It's 3 years and it's the same thing every time. And for me now, you've got 1 more year at it. 1 more year at it. And you have to find solutions. And I'm sorry, excuses got to run out now.
No, that's that's all up. Sorry, I'm trying to find the words for it. But you know what I'm glad about, and I'm happy about that. I've looked at a list, and the man I want in terms of the role that we're filling has seemingly been the one to be chosen. It's not often, you know, I'd like that to be in the transfer window as well with transfer lists, but we're starting somewhere here because I can't lie, Atletico Madrid, ex-sporting director, Andrea BERTA, seemingly in the position or agreed terms and will be in the position in the coming weeks. And when the way it's been portrayed, because I'm going to give some context to why I feel like, you know, it's enlightened me a little bit as well, because 3 weeks ago, Arteta was asked about sporting director, the need for it to be confirmed before the summer. And he said, you know, you're going to have to ask the people in charge of it. And I thought to myself, like, what, are you really not involved with it? Like, So I thought, okay, that's interesting. And then now it's come out, and Ornstein and Romano have reported. Ornstein has said Richard Garlick and Tim Lewis have headhunted and decided on him. It said part of the ownership was there along the way, which was Josh Kroenke, and it said and the last sentence was with some input from Mikel.
Well, so that's how it's finished in.
Yeah, so it's like he's come in, but he's come in as an Italian, so there's no Spanish link there. As someone, he's the most experienced football man in this side now. So he's a personality, he's a character. He's worked at a higher level than where we are at right now across the last 10 years with Atletico winning leagues and Champions League finals, but Europa League wins. So it'll be interesting to see how he works. And when I look at his resume listen, obviously everyone's got flops, everyone's got risks that haven't paid off, but he's got a lot right over the years. And he's someone that when you talk of market opportunities, he's shown that. He's shown David Villa comes in, market opportunity. He done time at Barca, wins the league at Atletico. Luis Suarez, same thing. 7 years later or 6 years later, looks with Barca, time done. Comes in for 5 million, wins them the league. You know, Julian Alvarez, different story, 80 mil, but he's had a great first season. And listen, Felix didn't work, but Felix was off the back of Griezmann going to Barca for 100 and something. Then they get Griezmann back after 2 years for a total fee of 30 mil. They originally paid 30 mil for him. So the business he's done, and Llorente he bought with the money from, and he's played a big part in midfield for them. Kieran Trippier was quite shrewd. So I could list off some names that I'm looking at him like, yo. And then you've worked with Simeone, a top 3 manager of the last decade for me. Top 3, top 4. Top 3, top 4. Because I put Ancelotti OG status, like he's been around not just the last decade, but Pep, Klopp, and Simeone. And, you know, that's how I see the more modern day managers. But Simeone's talked highly of him. So I'm very interested at this because it's not like Arteta's man is coming in, and it's not like a yes man for the owners is coming in. It's an experienced guy, background in banking, you know, love football because he was working on the side with football for years before even going into Parma or whoever he started with. I forgot. So I'm impressed, Arsenal, by this. Impressed. And it's March, 2-3 months, the window opens. We've got a man that none of us can look at and say, he's shit. He didn't get the deals over the line, because he's got many a big deal over the line. So if we don't get big deals over the line, we know it's not him. Like it could have been Edu, because it's always the easy excuse. We've got the man in now that none of us should doubt. If we want to sign big players and we want unprecedented summer, then BERTA's in. Let's go. Let's do what we need to do.
Yo, I just realised
what is that Mikel's got an influence in that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think he should have an influence in that. You know what I mean? I know he should have an influence of getting around the table and talking about the players, but I don't think he should be the one turning around and going, yeah, I think he's the right person for the job. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't understand that.
But the way I perceive it is, it was more because it was a final line as well, and because Mikel's already said 3 weeks ago, I don't know. That's not a question for me. So I think the only input he's probably had is, yo, that's the guy we're gonna go for. You calm with it? Cool. Like for me, I get that. Because it's like you're going to have to let someone know who you're going with. But it's not. But I don't think he should have the power to be like, no, not him. Especially someone like BERTA. Because the resume is there. Why wouldn't you want this guy here? Why? There's no reason fans shouldn't want BERTA. There's no reason Mikel shouldn't want BERTA. And there's no reason anyone else around Arsenal shouldn't want him when you look at the resume and the options around. So for me, I'm more than happy with that. Now let's get the fucking signings in.
I just realised these men took my moustache off, you know. I've just clocked.
Yeah. Didn't you know that?
I didn't even clock.
Man said, hey, I'm talking here about this guy said,
I just realised. I've just clocked, my moustache is gone. I just need to tidy it up.
That's tidying. Yeah, that's tidy.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you mean thoughts on the sporting director?
I don't have any kind of massively strong thoughts. I mean, I don't know a lot about these guys. I mean, they always say like these are the 4 candidates, and these are their, you know, track records of who they've signed, and all of them look generally good. But one thing I think you mentioned, which is important, is he's not getting ties to the current regime. He's not like a brethren. He's not like bringing our guy And two, his experience. He's not been around the block. He's not done a few good deals in the last couple of years. This guy's got 10 years in the bank.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know much about the guy beyond that. So just get to work. Monday morning's
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get him a desk. Get him a nice little triangle. What it was, those thing, little triangle name badge on the desk. Let's go. Make some calls. Draw those contacts in. You know, because our talent ID. There's been lots of hits, but there's been a lot of questionable misses as well. And as well as a lot of the obvious players that I think are on the market that are gettable, both in the Prem and across Europe. I'm quite patient, right? I'm patient. I want to win the league, of course, but I'm patient. So I expect him to be looking, and this is where Edu was good, to be fair. What about some gems? What about some guys that from leagues and countries that we've not heard of before, for a guy that in 2 years' time is going to be the new hot thing? Get some established guys in now for the now, of course. But your talent ID needs to extend beyond the guys that we already know. I want this guy to come in and say,
that though. Griezmann came in from Sociedad. Rodri
cool,
came in
do it
from
for us.
Villarreal, I think, and
Yeah,
Oblak came in from Benfica, all young, and look at their careers.
because you're right. You're totally right. Because I've got a lot of cynicism about whether. So I'm very skeptical about whether we will have this massive war chest that I think a lot of people expect. So if my concerns are right and we don't have this 300 mil war chest, we're going to have to be quite smart and shrewd in the market, because we don't only need quality, we need quantity as well. We need quite a lot of players in. There'll be players going out, of course, but we need quite a few bodies in the door as well. So that's where you pick up your 5 mil bargain here and your 15 mil gem there. Everyone can't be 60 mil, 80 mil, 100. Do you know what I mean? So as well as the kind of guys that we want and we know of, I'm expecting him to identify some talent. And look, do what United are doing. Start poaching other people's best talents from their academies. Let's have a look at Chelsea's academy. Let's have a look at, let's start poaching youngsters. If we can't get if there's not a left back, for example, I'll give a bad example, but if there's not a centre forward, for example, in our ranks right about now, and you bring in one centre forward for 65 mil, then let's see if we can try and poach Man City's new hot centre forward who's 16 years old and start grooming him as the third or fourth. Do you know what I mean? Let's start being a bit shrewd about the talent we identify and bring in. But yeah, apart from that, I don't pretend to know a lot about the guy, so I can't say I'm thrilled or disappointed. I don't know if Lee knows much about him, but I don't.
No, I don't think Lee cares too much.
No, I don't. Should have got one in before this, but whoever comes in, look, he's got to come in, and he's got one window to sort it all out. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want him saying, "Oh, it's 2 or 3 windows." You come in now in this summer, and you make me happy. You make me happy, because at the end of it, the last 2 transfer windows now, last 3 really have not been mind-boggling. I get that the January, like it's hard work in January. The summer one, we all know now that it was a cock-up. It has really, innit? You've got Sterling sitting on the bench today, and you've got Martinelli, who's not been about for 5 weeks, coming on before him. You've got left backs that are being going on to Celtic for a free transfer coming on before you. I don't know what that tells you. That tells me you might as well stay at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's just so for me, he comes in and he does the bloody business. And listen, season ticket prices have gone up. I think one of the reasons has been because we want big players coming in. They've said that on the email. So if we want to get the big players in, we've got to, And listen, if they say to me, we're signing this and signing that, I ain't got a problem with upping my season ticket. But if they don't, you know what I mean, then I'm trust next season you'll be putting it down, back to village prices. Because at the minute I'm paying West End prices for a village show. That's what I'm paying. I'm seeing Mr. and Mrs. Jones from round the corner of 54 playing up front instead of going and watching, I don't know, Sion Dion, whatever her name is, like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, sporting director. I'm happy with the choice. Means no excuses. And I'm not a man that wants excuses. So yes, good sporting director choice. Arsenal, well done. Fucked about Old Trafford. Well done on that one as well in a different way. PSV surely can't fuck about with that one. 7-1 up. Emirates return leg Wednesday. I mean, is there anything to talk about?
The only thing I would add to that is, and everyone's been saying, oh, new team, rest everybody, yada yada yada. I wouldn't go hardcore with the changes because look, it's 7-1, right? We've got a 6-goal lead and we're now at home. We're all but through, right? But if you put in the wrong players and if you mess this up and you find yourselves, I don't know, 3-0 down at half time because you've got kids in defence and kids in the field, you've now got a game on. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't go too extreme with the changes. You don't want to be, if anything, see the first half out with a nice cushion still and take off players. I wouldn't be doing wholesale changes because you don't want to be in a you don't want it to be a game it doesn't need to be. Do you know what I mean? If you go too hardcore with the changes and they've got 2 or 3 goals in the first half, you're panicking then. What's that? That's then 7-4. Do you know what I mean? They've got 3 more goals, but I just don't think you want to get involved in a game that you don't need to get involved in. So I wouldn't go too extreme with the changes personally.
Couldn't really care.
I agree. I don't think you should make too many changes. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal lose this game.
I mean, PSV are going to want some pride back, that's for sure. Arsenal don't seem to care too much about pride right now. So, yeah, I mean, that's a recipe for a potential draw, potential loss. But they're going to have to be open to do something, get some sort of retribution. And that's what caused the downfall in the first place. So I guess that'll be the glimmer of hope and what the players need to focus on because... Yeah, after PSV, they got another chance to kick on against Chelsea before the international break, and then it's a countdown to the 8th, 9th of April, which is Madrid, one of them. And after today's performance, bring me Real Madrid because Atletico Madrid are the best at what we cannot handle, and that's a low to mid block with a good pace of attack and good transition and quality up front.
100%.
Simeone's the best at that. So if we're gonna go out, let's go toe to toe with the best team in the world and see how we come out of that one.
Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Dalot, Lindelof, Garnacho, Eriksen. I'm just looking at their team. I can't believe it, man. I'm so angry. Sorry, Turkey. It's embarrassing.
No, it's a shocker today, boys. It's
embarrassing.
And I mean, on top of embarrassing and being a shocker, James has done it again. Another correct score for James.
He went 1-1.
He's on 45 points now. 10 correct scores. 10 correct scores.
That's incredible. That is.
Wow.
40.
He's pulling away now.
43 games, 10 correct scores. That's basically 1 in 4. That's a very good.
That's nice.
That's a very good. I don't know who's helping him, but it's working. It's working. Nice. He's got his prediction in for PSV as well. He said 3-1 Arsenal. So he thinks he'll end up 10-2 on aggregate. Surely our biggest ever European win on aggregate. I've never seen us get double digits, but yeah, maybe before my time. Jordan, 7 points off now. Yeah, you're gonna have to do something different. 3-1 Arsenal. Yeah. That's what James has gone with.
I'm moving like Arsenal now, aren't I? It's over. It's done. It's pretty much done. Oh God. He went 3-1.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a draw. I'm gonna go 2-2.
2-2. Okay. Lee?
2-0.
2-0, 3-1, 2-2. 2-1 Arsenal. Don't ask me how. 2-1. Just to be different, people. I mean, look at what am I? 19 points off Okay, that was 115 charges. Did catch up real quick, but on to next season.
It's done and dusted. It's done and dusted.
Yeah, well done, James. James hasn't even collected his winnings for last year.
No,
There's a sell-by date on that in my books. I'll be honest with you, bro. You can't just leave.
Yeah,
no, he's gone now. Like, you know what I mean?
What's he trying to do? Save up or what? They're saying.
No, it's gone. He's had his opportunity. He's gone.
Yeah. Sorry about that, James.
Are we changing the name of the podcast now? It's only 3 of us. Obviously, James he's gone now. He's not with us anymore. Are we changing the name?
No, he says he's back on the 16th.
Which is so one more pod and he'll be back on the one after that one. Happy days. I wonder what he has to say about it, or why he's still enjoying himself out in Australia. All right, cool. That's the predictions, people. 3 wins and a draw from Jordan, just to be different. And let's go to comments of the day.
Can I start?
You're welcome to.
Comment of the day comes from Ellen.
Good old Ellen.
I'm Ellen. Amazing podcast. Loved every second and loved meeting you, Lee. From now on, you have a huge new fan. So you two doubting that this young lady existed. Obviously she does. And also now she's commented and she's watched the pod. My work is done.
Well, Lee, you say that, but the comment below that, have you seen the next comment below that? The comment below that says, Ellen here, great show, guys. Big up James, Jordan, Turkish, Julie and Robbie, Cecil, Laurie, Ty.
That's a troll. That's a troll. I've checked out Helen, and it's definitely her. So, you know what I mean? So the powers that be. The only disappointment I haven't heard from Roderick. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give him a big up. And Elliot, and they didn't put no comments in. You two letdowns. So Helen, I'm actually going to call it, the Helen section now, if that's okay.
Well done, Ellen. Well done. You stuck to our word, I guess. We're the one that asked you to.
We want proof.
I'm sorry
you can't have no much more proof than that.
That could be anyone.
Yeah, it could
be. Listen, it is it's a second name and everything. Like, I've checked it all out on Instagram. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
when you meet people, you ask them their second name as well. What is this, James?
No, I don't.
So how do you know her full name though? First time you've ever met?
This stinks.
What do you mean, Winky? That's what I'm saying. Would you ask for the passport?
No, because she's on Instagram, and so.
Okay, say no more. Say no. So, man knows the process.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. It was just a free, just to check. You know what I mean? Like, and that was all. And she's a very, very nice young lady. Yeah.
All right. Trust the process, Jordan. Hey, someone's process got to work. Whether it's my hairline.
Hold on a minute. I'm getting a little bit. I'm big out to Roderick as well. Like, you know what I mean? No one's. And I just want to say, exchange Instagram with Roderick as well. Nothing, all of a sudden, because it's a young lady,
Turkish,
very attractive and all that, like, all of a sudden.
Turkish. Someone does protest too much, methinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not all like you, Jordan. We're not all like you. That's all I'm saying. Now, what you had a shave for? That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, moving on. Let's keep it moving.
If I get a comment here from Ellen saying, I love your shaven look, you know what I mean? Like, I won't be happy. That's all I'm saying, right? That's all I'm saying.
What you said, Ellen? You said it look good? Yeah. Let me know.
Oh, let me know in the comments, Ellen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I think Ellen ain't watching this show again. That'll be the first and last. I got a couple here. It's been a while since I've got these types of ones in. Why not? Kay says, whenever Jordan says, I don't want to be that guy, you just know he's going to be that guy. I like that one. And I like this one from Rahil. A bit ruder. Jordan speaks so eloquently and articulates well until you clock what he's actually saying. It's absolute garbage and his points are so shocking. But I love you all. Love for the love.
Well, thank you for those comments, guys. Before I read the comment that I've got, there was like so many people that were saying, "Oh, so you didn't even watch the game." This is, and I'm gonna call them idiots. They're idiots, right? They don't listen.
Got to go to a quiz.
Huh?
Pub quiz.
No, I missed the game live. But I'd watched the game before the pod. So this idea that I don't watch the games, I'd watch the games, just not live on that occasion. If I was gonna lie, I would have mentioned the quiz. I would have just said, "Yeah, I watched the game." So all the idiots that were like, "Oh," and I said on the pod later in the pod that I'd watched the game back. But those they didn't hear that, did they? They just heard the bit where. So those idiots, that's to you. The comment I've got made me laugh as well. It's got listening to Jordan talk about tactics and formations. It's like chatting to your missus or father-in-law about it. You just have to remain calm, agree with everything they say, nod your head, focus on the poker face, and walk away at the earliest opportunity with your frustration.
Hey, that's sick. You know how many people I do that
Facts.
I do that to bare people.
That is fast. It's very good.
Big up the community as always. Listen, another match where we've dropped points. Nothing to play for in the league. Nothing to really play for on Wednesday either. But we're here smiling come the end of another 1 hour podcast. Hit the like button, people. Let's get to 1,000. Make sure you're subscribed. Obviously, individual channels, Lee Judges TV, Whisper It Loudly, Turkish LD, and the Big Six, all of that stuff as well, people. Go show that some love. Love for the love as always. And we'll be back Thursday for the last one before James returns. So if you've been enjoying James's absence,
Come back, James. Come back.
One more to enjoy. Jordan's missing him. Lee, not so much.